We're about 2 months into the MLB season so far, and I feel like there's still a handful of players on contending teams that need to turn their season around. I got 5 names to go over today. First name I want to talk about is Corbin Carroll of the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is a guy that just won the NL Rookie of the Year last season. Coming into this season, the Diamondbacks just made the World Series last year. They bolstered a lot. They did a lot in the offseason to make their team a lot better, added some pitching, added some more guys to the offense, made a few trades here and there to make their team even better. So far at the recording of this video, they're not doing too hot. I think they're like 17-21 or something to start the season so far. I mean, obviously that can turn around in a heartbeat, but I just feel like the Diamondbacks aren't doing as good as what we projected. And Corbin Carroll is a big part of that. He has not started off the season too hot. I would have wanted to put him a little bit higher than this, but he's at 5th on the list so far because he's dealing with an injury. He's dealing with a shoulder injury. I believe it was shoulder that he's been dealing with for quite some time now. This year in 39 games, he's only got 2 home runs, hitting .201 with a .287 OBP and a .554 OPS with a .61 OPS plus. Nowhere near the player he was last year, or even the short sample size in his first season as well. But yeah, he was insanely good last year. Top 5 in MVP in his rookie season, Rookie of the Year, obviously an All-Star. He was like the core guy for the Diamondbacks last year. And this year, I feel like they've added a few more guys, and they have a good little core of hitters there. And Corbin Carroll was supposed to be the centerpiece of that, and he has just not been that guy so far this year. And he needs to really turn it around if the D-backs want to continue to be what they were last year and maybe make another run at the playoffs. Number 4, I have Spencer Torkelson of the Detroit Tigers. Now, Torkelson's a little bit of a weird guy, too, because this is only his 3rd season in the big leagues, and we really didn't see a insane monster Torkelson type player until the second half of last year. He really started to kick off that second half of last year. I believe he hit like 20 plus home runs in the second half. Finished last season with 31 total home runs. He ended up finishing the season with 105 OPS plus, which is only above league average, but I just feel like most people that seen what he played like in the second half of last year knew that it was coming. We were like, okay, this is the player that he was a very highly touted prospect. We knew what he was going to be. We were like, this is the talent that everyone projected him to be. And the Detroit Tigers came into this season. They did a lot in the offseason as well. We've talked about the Tigers on here plenty of times. I thought the Tigers were going to be a team that was gonna maybe run away with the Central, honestly. Right now, I think they're 4th in the Central right now. Granted, the AL Central is playing actually extremely well. Cleveland, Minnesota, and the Royals are all playing really good right now. Detroit started off the season, I believe they were the only team undefeated at one point. I believe they were like 7-0, 6-0 to start the season. I believe they're right around 500 right now, maybe one game above, one game below. And Torkelson has not started off too hot. Their offense has not started off too hot. They only got like 2 guys that's really doing anything offensively, and Torkelson is not one of them, unfortunately. So far this year, he just hit his first home run, I believe, yesterday. He's hitting .224 in the season with a .294 on base percentage and a .628 OPS, giving him a .79 OPS plus on the season. Not really what you want for somebody that showed so much promise in the second half of last year. I remember watching Torkelson a lot last year at the second half, and it just seemed like he was so confident, and like his swing was perfect. Like he was pulling the ball for power, he was putting it in the air. I haven't watched him a lot this year, so I don't really know if that kind of like went in the wrong direction or what. I don't really fully know the entire thing for him, but all I do know is he is not playing very good, and the Tigers really need him in an offense that's really struggling right now. Number 3 on the list, I decided to go with Alex Bregman of the Houston Astros. Now, I feel like this is even more important for him because he's a free agent after this season. Alex Bregman has been their third baseman for quite a few years now, and he's a free agent, and I just feel like he's kind of tanking his own value right now. If the Astros end up going away and trading him at the deadline, then they're not going to get much back for Alex Bregman right now with the way he's playing and where he's a free agent at the end of the season. He's had so many good years. Like, Alex Bregman has been a very steady player for a very long time, and he's not going to get a lot of money with the way he's playing right now, man. I ain't going to lie. Currently, he has a negative WAR on the season. He's got 1 home run in how many games? 37 games in the season, 144 at-bats, 1 home run. He's hitting 201 with a 270 on base and a 534 OPS, giving him a 57 OPS plus, which is nowhere near his career averages. His career average is 135 OPS plus, and he's got a 57 so far this year. That is just terrible. He's still walking a good amount, and he's not striking out very often. It just doesn't seem to be putting the ball in play so far, and I don't know. I mean, the entire Houston Astros are just a team that is just not doing very good. They're like 10 games under 500 right now. Coming into this season, I think the Astros had aspirations to try to maintain being that really good team in the AL West, but Alex Bregman's got to pick it up, man. He's not doing too hot right now. I'm disappointed with him. I would have loved if I think Alex Bregman was the type of guy that if the Astros were going to go and trade some of their guys away, maybe break up that core, I would have loved Toronto to go out and get Alex Bregman. I thought he'd be a perfect type player for them. But he's just not doing too hot right now, and he's got to pick it up if the Astros want to keep competing out there in the AL West. Number 2 on the list is Blake Snell of the San Francisco Giants. Now, he has only made 3 starts this year. I believe he's only pitched not even 12 innings on the season. I just feel like the reigning Cy Young winner of the National League, I know he's hurt right now, so maybe part of it was probably injury, but you gotta wonder, man. Like, he signed so late into the offseason, and we talked about it on here before. I talked very highly about the Giants. We made an entire video about the Giants already, how I projected the Giants to be a very good team in the NL so far. They're not doing very good. I think they're a couple games under 500 right now at the time of recording. And Blake Snell is a part of that. Blake Snell has been disastrous so far. Not only is he on the IL, which obviously hurts the entire rotation, but in 11 2/3 innings, he is just not doing very good. I know it's a very small sample size, but in 3 starts this year, he's given up 15 earned runs. 2 home runs, obviously not anything crazy, but he's given up more earned runs than he has strikeouts. The reigning Cy Young winner. You got to wonder, did he, where he wasn't on a team and he was late to spring training, did that make an effect? Is that why he's on the IL right now? I have no idea, but if the Giants want any chance at winning I don't think they're going to win the NL West, but if they want a chance at maybe making the playoffs, then Blake Snell's got to turn it around. And number 1 on the list, this is where I had to put Bo Bichette, and I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys a little bit more about Bo Bichette and what he's been doing this season, because it has been pretty disastrous, man. It's been pretty awful. We needed, the Toronto Blue Jays and us as fans and the entire franchise, we needed the top guys in the lineup to do good. We needed Springer, we needed Vlad, and we needed Bo Bichette to do good this year, because the bottom half of the order was not really going to be doing too much, and we knew that going into the season. We knew our offense wasn't really that crazy. We knew we didn't do a lot in the offseason to make our offense any better. We needed Bo Bichette to hit good. We needed Vladdy to hit good, and we needed Springer to hit good. And so far, Vladdy has been insanely good the last few weeks, so he has been starting to heat it up. But towards the start of the season, Vladdy was not doing anything. The top of the order was not doing a damn thing. And Bo Bichette is still extremely, extremely struggling. He did just hit his 2nd home run of the season the other day. They moved him down in the order finally. It took them long enough. He was hitting like 2nd and 3rd for most of the season. The last few games, he's hitting like 5th or 6th in the order, and it seems to be doing a little bit better. It seems like he's starting to hit a little bit better. I have come to the conclusion that Bo Bichette, and this is something that I also said in the past, I thought Bo Bichette was the type of guy that was going to be able to push the ball. He was somebody that always used the entire field. He is somebody that honestly hits a lot of power for the opposite way as well. And this year, he is just completely changed as a type of player. I don't know why. I don't know what is going on, really, because I believe a couple years ago, he led the entire league in opposite field hits. I believe like 2 years in a row, he led the entire league in opposite field hits. This year, I just don't know. He just seems completely lost up at the plate. And I don't know if it's part of the hitting mechanics or the hitting coaches and Don Mattingly and everything. I don't really know. All I know is he has 2 pulled fly balls the entire season, and both of them are home runs. Are we coming to the point where maybe Bo Bichette is more of a guy that can pull the ball and pull the power to his pull side, obviously? Is he somebody more like Vladdy than what we think? Like I said, the last few years, Bo Bichette was the type of guy that I was like, okay, I kind of thought, is Guillermo Martinez and Don Mattingly trying to teach the entire team to hit like Bo Bichette? Like, Bo has always been somebody that's been able to spray the entire field and do really good at that. He's always been able to hit the opposite field gap. He's always somebody that has a lot of opposite field power too. Is the entire Blue Jays team trying to be like that? I have no idea. But all I know is Bo Bichette has been struggling this year. Let me bring up his stats right quick because it went away. He's got a negative WAR so far in the season, and that is awful. That is terrible. He has been notorious for starting the season a little bit slow. 2 seasons ago, he also started off the season extremely slow, and we know how good he was towards the end of the season. But so far this year, he's got 2 home runs in the season. He's hitting a whopping 203 with a 258 on base percentage and a 552 OPS with a 60 OPS plus, which is well below his career averages as well. Bo Bichette has always been a high average type of guy. He doesn't walk a lot. He's only got 9 walks in the season, but he's just somebody that knows how to put the bat in the ball. And he hasn't been able to do that this year. He just seems lost at the plate, man, and it's really struggling to see. It's awful to see. He needs to pick it up because as a Blue Jays fan, we did not need these guys to struggle. And I know it's going to happen. But if we wanted to contend, if we wanted to be a good team this year, we're only going to go as far as the top guys are going to take us. The bottom of the order is going to do whatever. I mean, it's whatever. If they compete and they do well for us and they show some type of value, then it's whatever. But the top of the order needs to start to hit, and it starts with Bo Bichette with how poorly he's been playing. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I know it was a little bit shorter, but I just wanted to come on here and talk a bit about I just feel like we've been a couple months into the league so far, and usually around now is when we see some of the guys that start off slow start to pick it up, and then we see them throughout the rest of the season do really well. So anyways, that's going to do it for me, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.